Good evening and bienvenue, my fond fair friends, family, and, well, subscribers. This is the awaited return of part 1 to What If Deku Was a Brachidios? Now, where we last left off, Deku was, sitting on the ground as his dad was being carted off by the police to, jail. The Yaoyorozus were there after the heroic save of their daughter by Mr. Devastation, also known as Hisashi Midoriya. So, as per the instructions, Mr. Yaoyorozu essentially told Deku, "Listen, young man, I'm a friend of your father's. I'm going to help him out of this situation he's gotten himself into. Meanwhile, why don't you hang out with me for the rest of the day? We're going to get you looked at, patched up, and get you some nice food and anything else you may really want." Deku just going, "Okay." Because his father did tell him to, go with the nice man in the fancy cloak, in the fancy coat. So, they take Izuku to their, mansion. Izuku's, astounded. Little Deku's just going, "Holy cow, that's a big house." Now, the first thing they do is take him to the infirmary there. Why? Because Izuku got tail slapped in the last video. That's why. And he got tail slapped by a devil Joe. Yes, he may be a monster, a little monster, but he's a little monster. At least for now. He needs to recover, or at least be examined. Pardon me one moment. Sorry, too many leftovers. So, he's examined, and they find out that he has a few minor fractures, crack here and there, but given his nature and species, give him some rest as well as some protein and minerals, he'll be fine. And so they begin to have a meal, a little celebration, if you will, for Momo's safe return as well as, Izuku's. As well as for their new guest, Izuku. Now, we're going to slightly time skip, and I do mean slightly, to about a week. The lawyers have been called, everything's been set, and Hisashi has called in Mr. Yaoyorozu for a semi-private meeting. And what do I mean by semi-private? Simple. Basically, none of his other family around, mainly no other visitors, just the guards at the prison. Or jail, because he hasn't gone to prison yet, and if you don't know, they are two different things. Jail's where you're held until you go to prison. Believe me, I know. Not from personal experience. Family. Anyways. So, they take him and he goes in there, they talk for a little while, and here's how the conversation goes. "Why are you doing this, rich man?" "Excuse me?" "I didn't save your daughter, I saved my son. Why are you going this far out of the way from me?" "I don't know what you mean." "Listen, my boy is the one that went in there to save your daughter. My boy is the one that did something crazy and reckless. The only reason I did anything was to save my child. If you want to waste your money on someone, waste it on Izuku, not me. I didn't do a damn thing to help you. Ah, feeling a bit of guilt now, are we, Mr. Hisashi? There's no guilt to be had. I'm just being honest. Ah, but you see, Mr. Midoriya, or Hisashi. Can I call you Hisashi? Yes, you can call me Hisashi. Good, Hisashi. You see, I have an invested interest in you. What? You saved my daughter. Not only did you save my daughter, your son also saved my daughter. It seems as if heroics are in your family. Now, granted, with your current record as well as past vigilantism, being a hero, well, a licensed one is out of the question, and being a vigilante, well, without funding or anything of the such it's just not healthy. Yeah. What of it? I'd like to offer you a job. A job? I'm about to go to jail. Prison. Yes. What do you think a job's gonna do for me? Well, simple. In my hand, we have a plea bargain. What? Simple. You know the near millions amount of property damage you've caused? The drug dens you've blown up, the Yakuza bases you've destroyed, the hospital bills the hospital beds you've filled with gang members and such. It was all pretty costly. Now, usually when a hero does something of this nature, the government foots the bill. But as a vigilante, well, that would be up to you. And it is quite a sizable sum for an average working man. Uh-huh. And considering all that, you would be sent to jail for quite some time. Not to mention the current activities and such. However, I'm a very wealthy man, as you can tell. Yes. So I've arranged a plea bargain. You plead guilty to the crimes that you have committed. I cover the damages that you have caused, including the interest. And you only have to serve a 10-year sentence. 10 years. After 10 years, you're a free man. Uh-huh. What's the catch? Simple. You work for my family as a bodyguard. A bodyguard. You've already proven how resourceful you are. And the former monstrous vigilante known as Devastation. Oh! As my bodyguard, I can imagine quite a few heads would turn at this. Uh-huh. Is that all? No. In exchange for that, during your 10-year time span of serving in here, I will give your son the best quality of life you can ask for. 3 square meals a day, exercise, training, anything he would want or you would want, I will see done. Why? Well, as you said, from one father to another, it is our duty to protect our children. You've already proven invaluable as an asset to me, Mr. Midoriya. I don't want to lose you. And having you sentenced to jail for the rest of your life, it sits badly in my mouth as someone who saved my daughter. But obviously, I can't let you get off scot-free. I would if I could, but bureaucrats and such, they never understand the finer details in life, such as obligations, as well as, well, let's just put it this way. You weren't the only one rejected from joining UA back in the day. What? So you're a... Indeed. What are you? Well, that's nothing to be worried about. I'm no threat, at least to you and your family. A man has to have some secrets. I see. Why didn't you try saving your daughter then? Let's just put it this way. I'm not exactly a strong species of monster. I'm what's known as a velociprey. Very agile, very quick, very cunning, but overall, when it comes to the size of us bigger ones, indeed, not much I could do. And, as you well know, primal intimidation, yes. It's understandable why you couldn't react. I see. Well, in that case, I'd be glad to act as your bodyguard, as long as you hold up your end of the deal and make sure my son has a very good life. Oh, but of course, 'tis me we're talking about. All right. You got yourself a deal, Mr. Yayarozu, as they shake on it. Now we're going to cut to when a little bit after this, Izuku is packing up his... He's packing up his clothing, packing up his... well, everything from the apartment building he's living in, and essentially moving to the Yayarozus. This is where he comes across a young blonde... well, this is when a young blonde-haired girl comes running over from the next apartment, just banging on his door going, "Hey, nerd, what you doing? Nerd, where you going?" Can't really talk, Kachan. I've gotta be moving. Moving? Well, yeah, Wait, you're moving? Yeah, I just found out about it earlier. You're like, you stupid nerd. Why the hell are you moving? You can't move. We were supposed to spar earlier. Sorry, Kachan. I can't really do any of that right now. It's last minute and I kind of got to get everything packed up and moved over. But we could still hang out, right? No, not really. They're transferring me to a different school later this week as well. But so this is goodbye. You stupid nerd. You're like, you stupid idiot, you lughead. Just begins to pound on his head and everything. Like, I didn't choose this, you jerk. It's like, come on. It's not like I wanted to move. It's just with everything going down, my dad's, well, in jail. Someone else is taking care of me and they're trying their best. I see. Well, we'll still see each other, right? One day, definitely. As then Izuku kind of face palms, like, I got an idea. As he runs off. He comes back out of his room and brings out this little arts and crafts bracelet and everything that he made, well, during arts and crafts. Here. What the hell is this? Well, simple. No matter what happens, no matter how old we get or anything like that, or how we change and look different, if we both wear these, we'll be able to find each other and see each other at UA, right? I mean, you are heading there, right? Right, Kachan? Be like, of course I'm heading there, you dumb nerd. I'm going to be the #1 hero. Well, guess what? I'm heading there too. Be like, I'll be heading there too. Be like, yeah, you really think they're going to let you in? Be like, of course. Of course. I'm my father's son, after all. They'd have to let me in. They'd be stupid to otherwise. All right, you crazy kid. Kid, look who's talking, look who's talking, you little bee. Be like, shut up. And they just start kind of messing with each other more and more. Izuku, are you ready to go? Like, as one of the butlers say, like, almost. Listen, I'll always remember our times together, Kachan. Stay safe. As he takes off with his luggage and everything, and Kachan's putting on a very brave face and all that as she watches him go down the road. Then she walks back into her house and begins to, well, cry. Mitsuki walks over and says, what's wrong? Izu moved. Izu moved? Well, it's not surprising. I mean, look at what happened with his family and all that. I know, but why couldn't we take him in? We can't really afford that right now, dear. I know it's hard, but I'm sure y'all will meet again. He's going to UA, which means I have to go there too. Be like, well, you better straighten up your act. I don't think they allow bullying or anything else like that to happen there, so as long as you stay on the straight and narrow, you should be able to get fine. Right. I'll do my best. I'm sure you'll meet your best friend again soon. Eventually. Yeah. And, well, Katsuki Bakugo is now doing that whole thing. Yeah, by the way, Deku thinks Bakugo is a guy. He, well, you know, little kids, that young of age, they don't really be able to tell the difference in each other. They're only 4. Like, yeah, he thinks that Bakugo is just a straight up guy. Little does he know, she's a tomboy. Oh boy, this is gonna get interesting. What type of holes have I written here? Oh, the ones I can fill. Yes, I'll do my best. So, they all get to... So, now we're gonna skip ahead about a good solid 5 years to where Izuku's 9. He's in the same prestigious school as as Momo, as well as Ida, and Shoto, or in this case, Shota, as they're all talking, horsing around, doing all of that, having fun. And this is where minor little discrepancies begin to happen. How so? Well, simple. They're in elementary school and all that, going up through the whole system there, and, well, Deku's personality hasn't gone unnoticed. Why would you say that? Well, simple. He's a Brachidios. the older they get, they kind of gonna get a bit more brazen, a bit more restless. They're more eager to get into to challenge themselves and push themselves harder, you could say. Not to mention, they love fighting a lot. It's getting to a point to where Deku virtually craves fighting, but he doesn't know why. It's like even an argument he would love to get into because it's a form of fighting. That's how much he loves the idea of it, but he doesn't know what's going on. And so, pardon me one moment. And, well, so that's what he kind of does. He gets into arguments. He fights with the school bullies and everything else. Some quirk people, some monsters. But he's also very intelligent. From his mom's side, you know. Now, when I say super intelligent, I'm talking about an IQ of around 160. Like, he damn intelligent. Like, damn. Those be some good numbers. But right now, considering, well, that'll be at his prime age. Right now, it's around about 120. So, yeah, he's getting pretty smart. And he uses that as he fights. He finds and locates the weak points. He picks apart his enemies, as you will. But the thing is, he gets bored real easy. Like, if a person isn't challenging enough, he'll literally walk away from the fight. Just after beating them down, just like, you're boring. Just walks away. It has bit him in the ass on a couple of occasions. One time, literally, with a monster child. Yes. Tetsu Cobras. Always a pain. Those of you who don't get that, you play Monster Hunter. Tetsu Cobras are no fun. So, they argue around, and occasionally Ida, Shota, Momo, they have to pull him out of trouble, bring him back in, do all that jazz, because you know, it's Deku. He needs someone to pull back his hard-headed behavior from time to time. But in this day, he's being extra good. Why? Visitation Day. He gets to go visit his father. And he loves doing that. He loves to go down there, visitation and all that, and he just enjoys, father-son time. Apologies, IRL stuff. Now, Izuku loves visiting his father. Why? Because that's what he views as his only family left. He goes down to the prison. They let him in, put on a quirk inhibiting collar and all that because maximum security. Why do they have him in a max security prison? Simple. He's literally known as Devastation. Yeah, he's not gonna get no blue-collar cell. No matter what Mr. Yaoyorozu was planning on. Now, he enters in, he hollers at his dad, "Dad! That's my boy," as they're talking to each other through a phone, you know. Phone, solid bulletproof glass, wall. They talk through it, they sit down, all that sort of stuff. I miss you so much. I know, Izuku. Now, tell me how your week was. As he goes through the whole spiel, and he then gets to the whole fights and everything, and oof, does Mr. Midoriya get a bit angry. Be like, you're supposed to be better than that, Izu, but I can't help it. Those guys, they just irritate the heck out of me, and I just want to shut them up. I know. But if you keep doing that, you're going to be labeled a villain. But listen, when you're fully grown, you're going to turn into around a 15-ton bulletproof behemoth of a monster that can make things go boom. You have to have more control over your emotions. Otherwise, they're going to judge you before you can even do anything. Right. I'm sorry, Dad. It's okay. I just don't want you making the same mistakes I did. You're my son. You're supposed to be better than me. Nothing can be better than you, Dad. Incorrect. You can. I know it. You won't make the same mistakes. You won't make the same screw-ups. But most importantly, you won't do the same things I did growing up. Right? Right. Who's my champ? Who's my champ? I am. Good. Now, it's been about an hour or so, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Yaoyorozu on his own. Why don't you go and get ready to take off? But, Dad, I want to relax, Izu. This is grown-up time. Go sit and play with Momo. Yes, Dad. Ah, Mr. Midoriya. Or rather, cut the crap, Yaoyorozu. Come on. Right. How you doing, Hisashi? I'm doing fine, you crazy bastard. Anyways, I need your help. Yes, what is it this time? It's not for me, the boy. Get him some martial arts lessons. What? It'll help keep him calm. It's his inner spirit inside wanting to tear free and tear loose and rip shit apart. Get him something to focus on and beat his head against, and I guarantee you he'll be a lot calmer around the house. Trust me, family trait. Just be glad he wasn't like me growing up. I wound up blowing a lot of stuff to shreds around my house when I was in my teens. Oh, Lord, the holes in the walls could tell tales. Actually, they kind of did. I say, mister. Well, Hisashi, sure thing. I'll see about getting him some boxing lessons or something of that nature. Boxing would be perfect. Boxing would be perfect for him. Now, how's your family been? Oh, we've been fine, especially with little Izu running around. He's been doing fantastic in his grades and everything. Gets in a little rambunctious from time to time, but he doesn't talk back, so... Be like, yes, I understand, so... It's good to hear my little boy's doing good. Oh, yes, sir, he's doing more than good. He's very well behaved. Sorry about that, roommate playing with the doggo. No big deal, though. Now, back to the story. We'll skip another 5 years. Izuku's been in boxing practice for, 5 years. Every week he visits his dad on Saturdays and goes back to training and doing that thing. He has bulked up quite considerably, learning and, I would say even mastering all 3 styles of boxing. Slugger, Swarmer, and Outliner. Yes, he is super intelligent, remember. So mastering them isn't that big of an issue for him. It's just the power ratio for a child of 14, but hybridizing does take care of that. You could say he's quite a little monster even without being in his full-fledged monster form. However, his teacher has always taught him to not let his anger get the best of him, to hold it back. And his dad has always told him to not let his anger get the best of him, to hold it back. And so he does. He keeps himself under control, he keeps himself calm, He keeps himself steady. Now, a lot of you who've done the math, 10 years, it's been 10 years. Hisashi's about to get out of jail. Why, yes. Yes, he is. He's 2 months away from that, in fact. They're getting those things set up to make a party. They're getting plans set together. They're getting ready for all the fun stuff to go down. Izuku's have been visiting him even more frequently than usual, just running down to the jail and to prison. He's in actual prison, I forget, pardon me. And visiting him and talking with him and trying his best to let him know how happy he is, showing him off some of his new moves, such as destruction, straight destruction, or destructive cross, as he likes to put it. And Hisashi just goes, with names like that, you would probably be labeled, you probably wouldn't be looked too good at the hero community. Why? I save my friends and bring destruction to villainy. What could be wrong about that? Be like, you got a lot to learn, little Izu. Yes, but you'll be there to help me learn it. Yes, I will. Oh, how wrong they are. 2 months. No, 2 weeks before Hisashi is supposed to be released. Mr. Yaoyorozu gets a call. Huh? What is this? Excuse me, Mr. Yaoyorozu. This is the, head chair of the, this is the warden at the prison, the maximum security prison that Hisashi's held in. We'll put XXX name there. Tokyo Maximum Security Prison. There we go. We'll go with that one. Yes? What is this about? Well, you've told me to keep an eye on Mr. Hisashi, and I'm here to give you an update. He has been killed. What? What do you mean he's been killed? He's in maximum lockup. How could he have been? 1 hour. For 1 hour, all inmates are let out on the yard to exercise. During this time, one of the inmates managed to make a makeshift shiv and was able to break his cork collar. He used his monster and turned into a monster and killed quite a few of the fellow inmates as well as a few guards before we had to put him down. Mr. Hisashi, was one of the ones that died in the process. What? Yes, I regret to inform you. We'll need you to come down for verification as well as to sign off on the dead, considering you and his son were listed in his listed as the guardian for his son in his will. So yes, we'll need you to do that. I see. Oh, Izu's not gonna take this well. And so he calls Izuku in, and he tells him, he says, Izuku, we need to talk. About what? It's about your father. Why, is he getting released early for good behavior? He's like, no, it's best if you sit down. And he does. And he tells him, Izuku, Your father was murdered. What? He was killed. A prisoner managed to break free of his restraint collar and, well, monsterized and destroyed, killed quite a few inmates, one of which was your father. That's not possible. Dad couldn't die like that. And be like, no, he couldn't have died like that. Dad's dad. He no way he's dead that easy. I'm going down there to verify his body now. But he's gone, Izuku. No. This is some sort of joke. This isn't funny, Mr. Yaoyorozu. Please. No, this isn't funny. It's like, it's not a joke, Izuku. I wouldn't joke about this. You know this. No, this has to be a joke. You're lying. You're lying to me. No, Dad's alive. I just have to go down there and see. No, Izuku, you stay here. We're going to go investigate it out. We're going to go and verify the body and, well, hold a funeral for him and everything. But you stay here and like, no. As he gets angrier. It's like, Izuku, calm down. Stay calm, Izuku. You're gonna be okay. I understand you're upset, but your dad wouldn't want you acting like this. Just take a deep breath and calm down. Think logically. Your dad has passed away. We're here for you. But you need to calm down. Like, no, it can't be real. It can't be. As Izuku's eyes begin to flash red, he's like, no, I won't accept this. I won't! As he charges through the door and he starts running, and he runs and begins to run faster. Then he hybridizes and runs even faster, going up to 25 miles an hour. Oh no. As Mr. Yaoyorozu begins to run at full speed, even hybridizing himself, being able to catch up to Izuku, going, Izuku, calm down. Calm down, Izuku. You don't... I understand you're in pain. You don't understand anything. Leave me alone. As he tries to shove him away and... Monsterification! As he powers up even further and goes on full Brachidios down the streets. At this point, he's running up to 40 miles an hour, easily outpacing Mr. Yaoyorozu, at least for the moment. I'm sorry, Izu, but we have to do this. As Mr. Yaoyorozu calls a few favors in and, well, as soon as he gets to the prison where his dad will be held at, the guards are already ready because Mr. Yaoyorozu called ahead of time. It still took Izuku 3 minutes to get there from full speed running. He gets hit with a lot of tranq darts. And I do mean a lot of them. Monster grade. He's steadily at the door, just holding on, crying, as he just falls to the ground, unconscious. Now, I'm not ending it off here. We still got plenty of time, folks. Mr. Yaoyorozu picks him up, pays off everyone to keep this little incident under wraps as he brings him back and essentially takes care of him. He makes sure to reprimand him quite well, and Even puts a quirk restraining collar on him for a small period of time to make sure he doesn't lash out like that. Izuku just sits in his room most days. After about a week or so, he removes the collar from Izuku and tells him that his dad's funeral will be held tomorrow. And that they'll be going there with him in tow, and he'll at least get to say goodbye. And is there anything he wants written on his father's tombstone while he has the chance? Izuku thinks about it long and hard and says, yeah. What is it? Here lies Hisashi Midoriya, also known as the Vigilante Devastation. He had 3 tenets growing up, and he passed those 3 tenets down to his family. 1. A man's strength is meant to protect others, not to be used to harm. 2. You're not defined by what you're born as, but what you mold yourself into. And 3. No matter what it costs you, always protect your family and your friends. Even if it costs you your own life. He drilled those into my head. I do believe they fit on that tombstone. We'll put them there. Right. And so, they go to the funeral. They mourn. Izuku cries. And now he feels lonelier than ever. He doesn't hang out with Ida or Shota or Momo, his own sister, as he views her. He walks off into his room after school every day. He puts himself into his dark room and just lays down. And he cries. He does this for about a month. And then one day, Mr. Yaoyorozu gets up. It's 6 in the morning, and he notices that the exercise equipment's been on, that the training room outside at the other building that, well, was constructed for Deku's training, because he trains in both his standard and monster form, so yeah, it's a fairly large building. And Mr. Yaoyorozu does use it from time to time. Same with Momo, whenever she does her train with him. He notices the lights are all on. And he goes in there and he's hearing music just blaring. Being like, what the hell? And he views at it, and this is a 6-hour-long track of music that is 2 hours in, and he just sees Deku just powering through these things. He is exercising like he has never seen him exercise before. Lifting up 30 to 50 pound dumbbells, just lifting them up, tossing them around. Well, not tossing them around, apologies. Lifting them up and just in reps and just setting them back down, then moving on to doing push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, using the ab workout machines and everything else, doing full speed runs, just non-stop movement. he watches him go and go and go, and he's just thinking to himself, well, I guess he got tired of moping. I'll let him keep to it. He'll work out his grief his own way. As he just casually walks out the building. Now, at this point, I'd say Izuku's a solid 15 years of age. He's just entered high school. And no, this ain't UA. As I said earlier, UA is a university. Yes, he'll be entering that at around 18. So, we're getting closer, folks. We're getting closer. But that's for another time. This is in your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge, signing off. Au revoir.